Hello Capricorn, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Jen with Bohemian Path Tarot, and I have a terrible cold. I apologize for my voice, but if I don't record this tonight, these Tarotscopes won't get done before June, so we're going to persevere. I've got some tea here, and I've got the Curious Travels Tarot, and I've got the Familiar Field Oracle. So we're just going to go for it. As always, these are a general intuitive tarot reading. I read for an audience of y'all, of an audience of Capricorn, so it's not quite the same as a one-to-one reading. Please take what resonates and leave the rest for another Capricorn or another day. I do invite you to check out the videos for all of your major placements, like your sun sign, your rising sign, and your moon sign. I'm going to go ahead and shuffle now. But if you've been here before, you know I like to fast forward the video over the shuffling part. So I will catch up with you as I'm about to lay out the cards. See you in just a second. Okay, Capricorn. 9 of Cups. Ooh. 8 of Cups. The Moon. The Tower. Okay. Wow, what's happening? I'm not even in the frame. Sorry about that. I just got so excited by your 9 of Cups. Oh my goodness, what is wrong with me? I'm not even on cold medication right now. Okay, Capricorn. Okay, that's good. The Fox. Mischief, agility, cleverness. Okay. So, can we get this straightened out? Okay. This is such an interesting reading, I gotta say. All right, starting with the Tower. So this looks kind of scary. I don't hate the Tower. The Tower is kind of the reason why we come to the tarot, right? Because this can be a heads up. I see the Tower show up in my life in kind of 2 ways. Sometimes this is the little heads up we need if we've been procrastinating on something we need to fix in our life. Like, you know when the little check engine light comes up in your car, or the tire pressure is low and we kind of ride the keep riding it, even riding along, even though we know it needs to be addressed or fixed or whatever, or we have a little tooth pain and we know we need to see the dentist, but we procrastinate a bit, or we haven't had our doctor's checkup in years or something. When there's some kind of fix we need in our life, but we procrastinate, this can be the little fix that says, hey, that thing you need to take care of, you better do it right now, otherwise something dramatic could happen. And this can be that little gentle nudge, get your adulting together. Otherwise something dramatic can happen. The Tower can be that thing where life goes, well, if you're not going to be a grown-up, then we'll do something that makes sure that you have to grown up now. So it can be the tire blows out, or the tooth pain becomes unbearable, or whatever it is that needs fixing gets fixed. It can even be the kind of thing where, like, that job that you hated, well, your contract doesn't get renewed, or, you get moved to a different department with that terrible boss you didn't want to work for, or something like that. And that means you have to finally dust off the resume and get a real job at a place you want to work at, or something like that. That can be how the Tower shows up. It can be that kind of a change that makes you make a real change or fix in your life. But it can be that breakdown that's kind of like a breakthrough. The other way the Tower can show up sometimes is when it's time for you to let go of something that hasn't been working, that needs to go. Like that has been armor, like something that has kept you too small, like in that thing where you've been maybe in a position at a job that you're good, that you're good at, that you can do, that maybe you're too good at, that's keeping you from being new at something else because you're chicken to try something new. So it can be time for you to let go of that thing that's too small for you. Or has anyone ever broken up with you that you were like, how dare they break up with me? Like, I'm literally too good for them. That kind of a thing. Like, it can be that kind of a situation where, like, they were lucky to go, like, literally I was just going out with them because I didn't have anything better to do. And then now you have a chance to really have a relationship that you're actually excited about, instead of something you were just hanging on to because you hadn't gotten around to doing. Not that I've ever done that, but I know that happens. That's a thing that some people do, not me. But my point is that the Tower shows up when it's time for some crumbly part of your life that isn't working to crumble away. So what's crumbling in your life that needs a fix? I'm gonna let that just linger on the air and move on to the next card, which is the Nine of Cups. This is a wish fulfillment card. This is usually the card that's all about feeling really, really satisfied, feeling emotionally fulfilled. Some occurrence that can happen in kind of any sort of area of your life. It could be getting a job. It could be getting a date. It could be, a partner reaffirms the connection, the commitment. It could be hearing from your kid at school just saying, thanks, Mom, you're the best. I just wanted to let you know. I know I don't call enough. Whatever it is, it could show up for different Capricorns in different ways, right? But the Nine of Cups is that emotional validation, the emotional fulfillment. There's some occurrence in your life that supports that feeling of emotional security, emotional validation. And it's just going to be different for different Capricorns. So I tossed out a few examples. How does that fit in your life, especially after this awareness of something that needs to change? Maybe they're not connected. Maybe this is a totally different incident. This could be something to do. This could be something to do with the job, and meanwhile, like I said, your kid calls from college and just to say, I love you, kind of a thing. Maybe they're totally connected. Maybe this is the job and you give notice and then you hear from a friend, hey, there's an opening at my company and I thought of you immediately. I don't know if you've given notice at your place yet, but you should consider putting in your resume over here. It could be something along those lines. Just as one example, but how these things fit, take it as it resonates. Now, curiously, following that moment of or situation scenario of validation, we have the Eight of Cups. The Eight of Cups is a card that confirms that that something's got to give. You have to go all in on something. And I usually see this card when people know they have to leave something, when they know they have to leave a job, they know they have to leave a relationship, they know they have to leave a living situation. Sometimes people experience this card when they know they have to recommit. Like if they've been going back and forth, having problems with the relationship, and they decide, you know what, I have to recommit to this relationship. I have to show I'm all in. This is kind of I gotta be all in on something, whether you're all in to stay or you're all in to go. There's no more halvesies with this card. I can't just kind of half-ass my way at the job. I can't just half-ass my way at this relationship. I got to be all in or I got to be all out. I can't just half-ass my way at school. I got to pick a major. It's that kind of a card. So this is picking a side, even if you don't have all the details figured out yet. Like if it's, I got to pick a major. Like I'm going to go with theater. I don't know if I can support myself. I don't know if that makes any sense at all. I don't know how I'm going to earn a living doing that, but that's what I want to do, so that's what I'm going to do. Or I have to leave my wife. I don't know where I'm going to live. I don't have all the details figured out, but I know that I have to do that. So that can be what this is. I don't have all the details figured out, but my heart is made up. That's what the Eight of Cups is. Again, it'll be different for different Capricorns. My heart is made up. I don't know what the details are after that, but I know what my heart wants, and my heart is all in or all out, as the case may be. Now, interestingly, this is kind of a tough one to end on. I'm not going to lie, but we have some advice. So the final card here is another major arcana card, just like the Tower. It's the Moon. The Moon is a card of shadows. So it's kind of a card that lies to you a little bit. It suggests that things are scarier than they are. It blows, just like, if you put a flashlight on like a little mouse and then looked at the shadow that the mouse made on a wall that was 50 feet away, the mouse would look like an elephant, right? And somebody looking at the shadow of the mouse would think, oh my God, there's this huge beast. And they might be afraid of this huge beast. But it's really a mouse? Is that a terrible metaphor? The moon blows things out of proportion and makes little things seem really, really huge. Just because there isn't enough light, right? There isn't enough information under the moon. it's all sort of emotion. And so we kind of go from this emotion of my heart is made up, I don't have all the details yet, and it gets even blown up even further under the moon. So it's like even more emotionally filled. So it looks like you go from, I need to make this decision, something is not working. And there is some positive development or some good news over here. But there's also this piece where you know you have to make a change. Maybe you have to leave something or you have to commit to something and you don't know the details of how to make this thing happen or how to make this change happen. But I'll say the good news of this card is that the moon is lying to you about how scary it is. What you think you're looking at in terms of the details are the shadows that are blowing things out of proportion. When the sun comes out, and it will come out, you'll see that the things that you've been looking at were really just teeny tiny little mice and grasshoppers, not gigantic beasts. And that's not to poo-poo what you're going through, because you're going through a thing, but you can handle it. And you know how I know you can handle it is because we've got the fox here. And the fox is all about cleverness. The fox is, the keywords associated with the fox here are mischief, agility, cleverness. Oh, can we get this in focus? Thank you. Mischief, agility, cleverness. But the bottom line is when we pull the fox, we are pulling a crafty creature. We are pulling something sly, resourceful, stealthy. The fox can easily figure out a way through any obstacle. So you got this. Even if you don't even know what all the obstacles are ahead, or even if you don't have anything figured out, you are as crafty as a fox. So you got this. This is something that is right for you at this time. Whatever this tower was crumbly anyway. It's time for it to come down. There's good news coming. You're following your heart. The shadows are lying to you, and you're crafty enough to work your way around any obstacle. I hope that's helpful, Capricorn. I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for dropping by. If this has been helpful, I hope you'll consider leaving a like or a comment or subscribe. In any case, take good care. Until next time, bye for now.